Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. This is wants to be an interaction, so by doing those sort of things we can have discussions and conversations and really kind of get into depth with this stuff. But for today, what I want to go through is a discussion or comparison of physical format music, CDs, vinyls, cassettes, whatever, versus streaming, digital. So I just want to run through. So, I've gotten a lot of questions about what I prefer, what I use, do I use both, etc. And so I am one of those people. I love the physical format. You can see all the box sets behind me. You see my rack of CDs here. If you've watched some of my other videos, I have over 9,000 CDs. I've then got vinyls and box sets and other things on top of all of that. So I am a collector, but I also stream. And there's reasons for both of those to me, and I kind of want to run through that in this video here. So the physical format of something, I'm just going to be using examples of stuff, but holding this in my hand, looking at it while I'm hearing the music, that's a big deal to me. Seeing the art on this sort of thing. You don't get that extra added bonus of art and photos and things like that that are in this, things like that, when you're listening to it digitally. Sure, you can Google and whatnot, but it's not the concise package, that direct representation that the artist intended for you to have. Holding it in the hand, seeing one image on the front of this thing that means something, opening it up, seeing band photos, lyrics, whatever it might be laid out within it as per the band's direction. And so that extra stuff that's there, that what I would call the complete experience, for me is missing from streaming. I also like to look at who wrote the songs, who the producers are, if there are any guests. And again, that stuff is missing from streaming. Some of the services are getting a little bit better, and the major artists are getting more information, and it will pop up on your screen and you can follow along with lyrics and whatnot. But for the average band, that stuff just doesn't exist. I'm a big fan of all the metal from the 80s, the hair bands, that kind of stuff. It's non-existent for them, unfortunately. The downside, though, of course, to physical format is the wear and tear on all this stuff. If you don't keep it absolutely pristine, or you drop it, you damage it, the CD being taken in and out of these kind of things, these types of sleeves where the discs are in the tops of these things and then pull out, it wears on them. It's not like the jewel case where it just snaps out kind of thing. So there is a downside to physical format. Discs can break down. It's been said that they have a 50-year lifespan, and we are getting to a point where pretty soon some of the very first CDs from the early 80s are going to hit that point, and who knows what's going to happen. I really hope that none of my CDs begin to break down. But there's different opinions out there on this stuff, and so we'll of course have to wait and see. Regarding streaming, though, the thing that's with streaming, as I mentioned, it's missing a lot of that physical format stuff that you get to see in that added information. But what you do get is the immediacy of it. You get it right away. So when there's a brand new release, Thursday nights, midnight, because Friday the music, or the release day is Friday. But on streaming at midnight, most of these albums are available to stream right away. And so I actually wait and stay up on Thursday nights and I listen to the brand new albums, even though I've got a CD arriving usually on Friday, a physical format one, I'm streaming it already. And I don't, I used to wake up really early in the morning, run to my record stores, wait in line, get the stuff. Now I don't do that because I stream it when I'm going to and from work and whatnot. And I know there's going to be a physical format CD waiting for me when I get home, kind of a thing. So that's where streaming, is an added bonus and a benefit, I feel. The thing with it, though, is that, it killed the music store. Whether you want to say it killed physical format or not, streaming has killed the music store. It's made it so a lot of people don't buy the physical formats, don't buy CDs anymore, which in turn has caused sales and everything to drop in the record stores, and so the real true record stores have closed. Yes, some places have started to sell vinyl and or are living off of that in that way. I mean, I was just at a record store recently where all the CDs were being closed out, sold off at $2 a piece, and I asked them about it. They said they're focusing on vinyl. So, it's a love-hate relationship for me with streaming because I love the immediacy of it, but at the same time, I know it's the thing that is killing the physical format, which is the other thing that I really love. Now, the thing also with streaming is that you get access to music that you never would have checked out before. There's so many things where I'm like, hey, I've heard that band name before. Who are they? What do they sound like? And so I look that sort of stuff up to get that. And then sometimes I find a new artist. I'm like, wow, that's really great. I never would have checked these guys out before. But I did because I have streaming. And when we're talking about streaming, I'm talking about, having a monthly service. I pay $9.99 through Apple Music, and I get unlimited streaming and download that way with it. And so for me, it's, $10 a month, 4 years, $120 a year to have full access to all of that sort of stuff. Now, the other thing though is there's a lot of albums not available on streaming. And up until only recently, Def Leppard wasn't available to stream, the Beatles weren't, Led Zeppelin wasn't. They had to make deals with these artists to get their music onto streaming platforms. There was a lot of holdouts. But even then, most bands, their full catalogs are not available to be streamed. Whitesnake's full album catalog isn't there. The Scorpions, their full catalog's not available. Rat, they're missing an album. Blue Oyster Cult is missing some of theirs. Even Black Sabbath is missing their stuff from the mid 80s up through the early 90s. And so, with these artists, these are major artists. And when I find that I can't stream everything that I want, that's why I turn to physical format. Because the other thing with streaming is license deals with these artists come and go. 1 month the album might be available, next month it's not. I wanted to listen to some Meatloaf. I wanted to listen to Bat Out of Hell 3. It's not the most popular of his series, but I went to go listen to it on Friday, no longer available. I don't know what's going on. I'm sure at some point it's going to come back. When it does, it'll update in my downloads as available. But, I was bummed. I was on the train. I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this Meatloaf album because I'd been listening to the first Bat Out of Hell. Now I couldn't listen to the third one. That kind of stuff unfortunately happens all the time. The other thing is sometimes they have the albums and they're only partials. There's a duet with someone or a guest on it and they can't get the license right from that person. So that song's not available on the album and you end up listening to 7 of 10 songs or something. And that's really upsetting to me when that happens. The other thing too is that, and this is the thing that I hate the worst, streaming services want to minimize the amount of storage space they have. So if an artist, and this is the case with David Lee Roth from Van Halen, lead vocalist, he has a best of record. It's a remastered collection. So there's those songs. Then he has the individual albums, which are all available. They have not been remastered. Problem is they take the remastered tracks first and add them into the song mixes, the albums of the ones that are unmastered. And so songs like Yankee Rose off Eat 'Em and Smile, when I listen to Eat 'Em and Smile, you get the first track on there and it's one volume level, then it hits to Yankee Rose and the sound level soars and it's like, oh, I gotta turn it down. Then it goes back to being really quiet after that. And that fluctuation, because what they're doing is they're only gonna hold one version of the song on there. And so if there's different remastered quality ones, sometimes your albums that you're getting are mixes of those. And I don't know, I can't stand that. I need my volume levels all at the same level. It's really annoying to have to turn up the volume, turn down the volume, that sort of stuff. So I won't listen to those albums. I've taken them off of my playlist, but I've got physical format ones behind me here. So I go through that. The thing to jump back to physical format stuff, there's amazing things that you just don't get like this. This is Rick Wakeman. I have a separate review for his new album. Look at that. This is not a limited edition, special edition, whatever. This is the standard version of the album that was released. and it comes like that. The new Pantera, the 20th anniversary for reinventing the steel, raised printing on that, but when you open it, you get this amazing shot of Pantera logo and the band members. And of course, there's booklets and everything. But again, you're missing that kind of stuff. Reissues for the Keith Richards in the hardback book, and again, full of photos and everything. But this is a standard edition, and a standard edition for the new Robert Plant compilation, also in what they call the media books. And let's not forget also, Tool and their latest album and what they did with it, which this again was the standard edition. Now, of course, it cost $40, but you open the thing here, there's a video screen in it, and it starts playing. I've actually had this thing on my wall for over a year now, and I cannot believe that the charge has held. I have never had to plug this thing in. But, stuff like that. Now, what I will say again, with streaming, it has killed some of the physical format. Bon Jovi released this album, Burning Bridges. Not a booklet, nothing, just a sleeve. Latest Neil Young called The Times, and this one too, nothing in here but the disc out of the top. Actually, there's a little sleeve thing in here, but no, it doesn't open, it doesn't do anything. So artists are saying, well, I'm not going to sell very much in the CDs. Why put any money into that? Let's make it as cheap as possible. And I totally understand that from that standpoint. But at the same time, them doing that is making people not buy those as well. What we need is more artists like Bruce Springsteen releasing things like this, replica spiral bound notebooks that are full of the CDs and everything that's in there. And then you got artists like U2 selling things on their website. This book, 360 Tour, it also has U22 in it. You open it up, there's merch inside here, but in the back of this, that's the CD. So you get the live album, and it came in an entire hardback book like this. So, for me, that's the sort of stuff. And then I want to wrap this up with the fact that, there's lots of albums that, while not available to be streamed, it also works in reverse, where there are albums, physical format, that's out of print, and it's only available to stream. Def Leppard has a number of exclusive releases out. Stephen Pearcy, lead singer of Rat, is known for releasing a song as he records it, then dabbling with it, remixing it, modifying it, whatever. By the time it comes out on the album, it could be something different. Sometimes he decides, no, just a song, I don't want to put it on the album now. So there's things like that. The Offspring just released a Christmas single to stream only. Pearl Jam is always doing non-album singles. And then a lot of artists do remix albums, gather up remixes, singles with B-sides. And again, those things are only available to stream. So a lot of pluses and minuses. I really love the physical format. I'm never going to give that up. But there are pluses to the streaming, and the biggest one just being the immediacy of things. It's made it so it doesn't take as long for albums to come out. Back in the day, you used to find out about albums 6 months beforehand, and all the promotion and media and everything that had to go into it. Now, sometimes maybe 2 months, sometimes only a month. So streaming has really sped all of that up. We get our music faster, we get it sooner. We oftentimes get a lot more because of that. So, I'm on the fence about the thing, but right now I'm supporting both. Unfortunately, physical media will probably go by the wayside, and it will only be streaming, but I don't think that is going to happen until streaming gets up to speed and gets all of the content that is missing out there onto it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions about physical media versus the streaming content. Please leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. As I said, I want to make this a discussion and interaction with you guys, so let me know your thoughts. Have a good day. I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye, everyone.